How is everybody doing on this Saturday, August 24th? Joseph Sunderman here, the Creative Tech, not the Creative Tech, I'm sorry, a Creative Tech, just like you and everybody else that's watching the show or living their life with intent and finding their purpose. Yeah, lots of excitement going on here. And if you're new to the channel, we'll get into what this is all about and what we're doing here. I am a solo creative influence here doing all this, the music, the show, the descriptions, the posts, everything is on me currently. But not to fret, we are building systems and growing our network to bring more and more people in, because that's how you start something. You know, you see all these channels have all these views and you like their content, so you subscribe to them. How did they get there? Well, I have an idea of how they get there. They just start doing it. They get better as they go and they figure it out. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. So what I would like to tell you all, whoa, what in the heck, is when you have technical issues, keep things going. You got to get better at all this stuff and make sure all your cameras are running before you switch to another camera. And make sure that it's in focus. So that way when you do switch to the other camera, obviously my battery must be dead in that camera. Great start to the show. Hey, again, this is the 23rd episode of Sessions. I've been doing this for 25 weeks. I had 2 weeks off due to a couple of weeks I took off for family vacation. Flew down to Florida with the family. Anyway. So I've done this for 23 weeks. And when I started, there was no structure to any of this. And the point of doing all this was to get good at marketing so that way I could help my business out, Icora. What we do at Icora is we help businesses get their desired state figured out. And we take them from their current state to that desired state using our master tech plan, which is a beautiful roadmap to get anybody from their current state to their desired state. So I need to market and sell that product. How do I do that? How do I get good at marketing Icora? Well, let's create a lab and let's do some practice. That's what we would do if we're doing a new tech stack, a new addition to our tech stack. We would create a lab environment. We would figure it out. And once we had it all ready to go into production, we would kick that baby into production. So that's exactly what we're doing here. I am focusing on how to get good at doing all this marketing stuff. How do I have a structured show? How do I stay consistent with that show? How do I add value to that show? You know, my concept is pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but how do these episodes, an hour conversation, allow us, like, who's going to want to sit down and listen to you for an hour, Joe? Why would they listen to you for an hour? When you start asking those kind of questions and you start trying to answer them by making improvements and doing this, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say, is that my current state is I don't know how to do this. My desired state is I want to be good at it. How do I go from here to there? And what I've come up with is I will start another lab environment similar like to our tech stack that we support. We have an Acme company internally that we have built and has its own everything. And if we want to showcase our work to somebody, we use that Acme company as opposed to a client. We used to use our clients' information just to show, hey, look, this is what a team site is. This is what, a pipeline looks like. But now we're able to use our Acme company to, again, little improvements with the business. And we got to a point now where like, oh man, this is really good. We have an amazing minimal viable product, an MVP. We're making money off of it. It's a proven structure. It's great. Now we need to sell it. Do we go after money from investors? Do we want to have get a big capital loan and just start going to town? Or do we grow it organically and continue our improvements and take those to our clients and see that evolution happen naturally? And that's what we've done. And now I've started this work, how many weeks is that? 23. So that's what? Almost 8 months, 7 months of doing this so far. Yeah, so 25 weeks would be 6 months, right? Yeah, so we're about 6 months, I guess I should say. Not 7 or 8. Yes, my math's off. Bottom line, I'm excited. Things are taking shape. Just like with the business when we started putting that structure together. and seeing the breakthroughs and getting to where it is today. 25 weeks of doing this. Yeah, we're getting there. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. If we look here, this is our list that we have in 365. All these here are potential episodes for the future. We're not worried about those right now. And these are just things that we could pick. Like, put a bunch of random words in here. I haven't used any of them yet since I put them there, but they're potential topics for this show. And if you have a topic you'd like me to talk about, you hear me rambling about something, send me a message. Let me know. I need to get engaged with people, but you have to be here before I can start engaging with you. So anyway, as I'm waiting for engagement, I need to start doing things to bring in engagement. Today we're talking about opportunity, which is a great way to, hey, how do you create opportunity? How do you look out for opportunity? If you're not good at creating opportunity, how do you get to a point where you can start creating opportunity? Oh, I love it. I love the discussion, because now that we have the creative tech figured out and we know what we're doing, which is, trying to develop and become the authority in the modern workforce. And by making that our focus, when we talk about opportunity, like, why is that important to the creative tech? Well, why is it important? Because you need to grow. And if you don't have opportunity, you can't grow. If you want to learn how to do IT, you gotta start learning somewhere. You have to find the opportunity that works for you. What opportunity will work for you to get started in IT? Do you have the ability and the ability to go to college? Are you not able to go to college and you just don't have the money or the resources to be able to go to school and provide for your family? So how can you start doing that with what you have access to? Like, do you have a cell phone? Do you have a computer? We can start doing small things there to start getting us on our way. And if we know where we're going, when we start looking for that next job, or we start, whatever objective or task or matter comes across your plate, when you go to answer it, if you know where you're going to be able to answer it better and get you to that decision quicker, get you that desired state quicker, right? So today we want to talk about opportunity. That's the focus of today's session, and these sessions are an hour long. And I like to also talk about the channel that we're growing here, and that's part of the content, is what we're building here for the creative tech. It is for Icora. How will this help Icora down the road, other than getting good at marketing and things? Well, here's my crazy genius brain. I think it's genius anyway. I might be an idiot. But if I create this creative tech channel, and let's just say we have a few thousand people join the community, just a few thousand. I'm gonna talk about millions of views and hundreds of thousands. Just a few thousand people here in Cincinnati that actually, understand who the creative tech is and starts engaging with it to some degree. When I go to hire a technician or an account manager for my company, who do you think the ideal employee would be? Would it be somebody that's been through the creative tech, process and understands how we operate and how we do things for the individual, and all we're doing is taking that to the business side of things? That's what I think would be great, is that if we have all these people, especially in our region, that are engaging with us when we do have an opportunity for somebody, what better pool of people to go to for an opportunity than our own pool of creative techs? So my idea is as we develop the creative tech to get good at our marketing and business development, we're also developing our training materials and creating the standards for the ideal employees that we're looking for. The team members, the band members, as I like to call them, the tribe. All right. So we know the focus, opportunity. Topic number 1, growth. That's why opportunity is so important to the creative tech. Number 2, impact. I had to look it up. Sorry, I'm a cheater. Impact is number 2. How does opportunity help the creative tech or a creative tech, you, myself? How does opportunity help us? It helps us by, it gives us the impact. Based off what opportunities we have, it will have an impact on how we do it. Our structure and how we do things will, and how we approach opportunities will also be part of the impact. You know what? I didn't vet this too far, and I don't think impact is the right topic for today's discussion. I think foundation or structure or something to do with, like, because opportunity is how does opportunity help the creative tech? That's the question. We have a model for our topics, and why is opportunity important for growth? Absolutely, that makes sense. How is opportunity important to creative tech? Impact. How does opportunity impact? Well, I guess the opportunities themselves will impact it, but again, to me, it's about structure. So I guess this is my rushing and not having other people to vet these sessions with me and get it done. But we'll make the best of it anyway. We'll keep it at impact because we're going to stick to the script. We're going to stay the course. And next time we do opportunity, we'll keep this in mind and do better next time, I hope. That's the mentality you have to have in business too. Sometimes you make a decision, you get so deep into it and it's there. And it's like, we could have done better there. But it's just another episode and we'll learn from it and we'll move on. Now, for all I know, there could be no audio in this episode right now. This is all practice. It's a lab. If anybody does start watching this, I will be tickled to some degree. So, impact number 2. Let's go read my descriptor. Maybe that'll help bring me some perspective here, because I did only start working on that today, and I've had a lot of stuff going on. So opportunities are not just about personal growth. They're about making an impact, whether it's improving your workflow, contributing to your team, or advancing your personal brand. We'll explore how seizing opportunities allows you to make a meaningful difference. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you choose the right opportunities, you will have a major impact, but I don't see how impact is helping, how opportunity helps the creative tech as far as impact goes. How opportunity helps the creative tech is, I don't know. I really feel like structure would have been a better way to go about it. And I think I did say that when I was working on it. Anyway, that's what happens when we rely on AI. So where I was going with topic 2 was that whatever it is that you're good at, if you focus on that, because there's opportunities everywhere, but what opportunities will get you where you're wanting to go? How do we use opportunities to get where we want to go? We use them as a way to improve our flow and getting to where we're going. Our structure that we are building, based off the opportunities we're bringing in, that will depend on our strengths and where we're getting good at doing things. And if we focus on the opportunities that give us the most ROI or the most fulfillment and the biggest margins, because, you get to a certain size, you want to try to bring in as much finance as you can, because finance is basically like water. Or gasoline. If you have a combustible engine and you need to keep the thing running, you need to put plenty of gasoline in it. If your tank is always riding on E, that's a problem. You should build more capital, have more fuel in your tank. That way you can keep things flowing. So obviously, you have to understand finances. And finances doesn't always come from clients, just so you know. There's grants, there's all kinds of money out there, there's support from Small Business Administration. There's so many ways to get that fluid, get that fuel for your business. So with that being said, be over here. With that being said, I'm not sure about topic number 2, but topic number 3 is action. What do we need to take away from this? And it's you have the actions you take. You have to actually put yourself out there in these opportunities. The thumbnail that I have for today's episode, showing the doors. I wanted to show something of opportunity. What I was going to show was a cookie jar with the lid slightly off with a kid looking over the table going, opportunity, right? Because I feel like that depicts, you know, how people actually are. If they see an opportunity and they know they're not supposed to go for that opportunity, they may go for it, and that could be problematic. In work, if you see the manager getting away with doing something, and you're like, I wonder if he does it, I can do it. He's not out. He'll report me if he sees me do it. I don't want to get him in trouble or make him feel like he has to do a job that he doesn't want to do. I can do it behind the scenes because he does. Like, there's certain things that if you break rules, you break standards as a leader, your team's going to see that, and they're going to do what they have to do to survive. I don't know. I'm probably losing people like crazy right now because my head's so messed up. But bottom line is growth, impact / structure, and action are our topics for today. So let's go ahead and get into our first topic, which is growth. Now, I have not always been somebody that has a really nice digital camera, a really nice computer, and able to do everything that I'm able to do today. When I first started off working in the corporate world, my very first big cozy job working in an office was for Fifth Third Bank. And I was 38-ish. No, Jesus, I was 28 at the time. Oh my God, I'm not that old, Joe. Come on. 28 years old at the time. My daughter was still in her mother's womb. Hell, I don't think she was conceived by the time I started Fifth Third Bank, but I got hired directly on. I was excited. I was going to ITT Tech. I was working at, there was a store opening for Bed Bath & Beyond, and I literally just got my cape for being hired on because I came in to help with them opening the store, and they really liked my work ethic and my attitude. So they're like, hey, we're offering you a job at Bed Bath & Beyond if you want to work here at the store. And to myself, I was thinking, oh, no, that's not the opportunity I want to get me to be that big IT rock star so that way I can start my next band and become a rock star. I dropped out of high school to be in a band, and I dropped out of the band because I was tired of working with idiots. So I moved to Cincinnati to get big jobs and make good money so I can hire the band I wanted to play with. And along the way, I lost the passion to really be in a band because I got a little bit excited and started working in IT, and it kind of took over, right? So anyway, as I'm working at Fifth Third Bank, I finally get this big cozy job, and on the first day, this guy comes up to the trainer that's training me, and he's like, hey, I'm having the worst day of my life. This has got to be like the absolute worst day. I can't believe today's happened. Oh. And the trainer's like, what's wrong? What happened? He's like, my pen just exploded in my shirt pocket. I got ink on my chest. I got it all over my hands when I was trying to clean it up. Like, my shirt's ruined. And I mean, this person was acting like this was devastating. And for them, it probably was to some degree. It was a problem. But I come from working in, freezing weather, construction jobs outside, wearing Carhartts and steel handling gloves and carrying big sheet metal, and like that was a pretty shitty job. When I worked at International Paper one time, a roll, which we had these big rolls of paper, they were only about this wide, so they would wobble. I mean, you know how heavy a stack of papers can get. Think of a tree, right? Wood, paper. Come on, everybody, shit's heavy. And these were probably about 5 foot. They were perfectly round, so if it was 5 foot tall, the radius, you get it. Bottom line, if this thing fell over, and it fell over on somebody's leg and crushed their leg, broke their leg. Guy was lucky to keep his leg. That guy had a bad day at work. Your pen bust in your pocket, if that's the worst day you've ever had, I just stepped into a new world. And that's the big thing is I come from where you work in a factory floor and you go into the office space, and it's like night and day. There's the blue collar, white collar, culture type level, like the people that live within the castle walls and the people live outside the castle walls, right? There's this wall dividing people. And I worked for a place one time when I worked in a factory, and they pulled me in the office a few days a week to do sales just because I was stupid and reached out to people anyway. They saw potential. But little I know, after I came out of the office the first few days, the shit I got from the coworkers, wow. Unreal. So I know I wanted to grow. I know I want to get somewhere. When I worked at Fifth Third Bank, and I got the call from Fifth Third when I finally got my, thing from Bed Bath and Beyond, my little, I guess they give you this, not a gown, what the hell is that thing? An apron that had Bed Bath and Beyond on it. You walk around and you got your little notepad, and I guess they give a little radio to talk to each other through the store and whatnot. They just assigned that to me when I got the phone call working in the back room. I was tearing down some boxes, and I got the call saying, "Hey, Mr. Sunderman, we just want to let you know you've been offered the job. You can start next Tuesday." I thanked and praised the person that helped me get the job and got off the phone with them, took off my little apron thingy, started walking to the manager and said, "Here you go. I appreciate the opportunity, but I just got the phone call I've been waiting on, and I would love to give you some time and some notice, but I got to get out of here. I appreciate the opportunity. Have a good day." And I left that place, and I started working at Fifth Third Bank. And that's looking out for opportunity. That was me looking for opportunities and taking whatever opportunity was given to me. There was nothing better at the time for Bed Bath & Beyond. So, qualifying opportunities is important. That was an easy one. Like, you want to work at Bed Bath & Beyond, or you want to work at Fifth Third Bank? Well, no shit. I want to pick Fifth Third Bank. Well, here we get into the fun part of the story. I know I'm all over the place, but the fun part of the story is that they hire another Joseph Sunderman, or just Joe Sunderman, whatever it is. And I'm like, minding my own business one day, and I get an email from IT saying, "Hey, Mr. Sunderman, we just hired a new executive, Joe Sunderman. And it appears you guys have the same email alias. And we were wondering if this executive person," because I was just a peon working in the call center for merchant services, they asked me if I'd be willing to give up my email address so this new guy could have my email address, and I'd be given the one with my initial in it or something. Instead of Joseph.Sunderman, it'd be Joseph.N.Sunderman. And I'm like, why not just make that person's? And I guess that was enough for them to be like, okay, no worries. We just wanted to ask. So hopefully I didn't upset anybody. I'm not sure what happened. But anyway, me and that Mr. Sunderman, we kind of emailed each other back and forth just slightly. Just, that was fun. Yeah. And that was the end of it. And I think we connected on LinkedIn at some point. I don't remember if he reached out to me or I reached out to him. But he seems like he may be a few years older than I. But bottom line, I ran into this guy named Joseph Sunderman. And 12 years ago, like, oh my God, no, it's not 12 years. I was 8. If I was 28 then, and I'm 44 now, let's start doing some. I'm about to be 45. This was 17 years ago, 18 years ago, something like that. But we just talked yesterday for a half hour for the first time that we've actually had a real engagement, a real conversation. And why I think this story is exciting, why I like this story, is because I had no idea at that time that I was going to own my own company and that I would be doing workforce development and helping not only businesses transform their approach to work, but I'm also helping individuals transform the way they approach work. I had a wonderful conversation with myself, with Joseph Sunderman, Joe Sunderman. I go by Joseph. He goes by Joe, I believe. And Joe Sunderman is looking for work. And he posted something on LinkedIn about it. And I asked him, I shot him a DM saying, "Hey, have you ever thought about entrepreneurship? Have you ever thought about doing something yourself?" And he says, "No, I haven't, but I'm open to ideas." I could imagine looking for a job, like not having any income right now and looking for a job. I could not imagine the stress that would bring on. And hell, it could happen I could lose all my clients. Like something could happen in technology, or I could, something could happen and I got to start over again. 5-10 years ago, that would destroy me. I'd be so pissed. But today, I'd be like, well, that sucks. Looks like we have a new opportunity in front of us. And that's another thing I want to talk about today's episode. And I know opportunities can hide themselves. That's why this conversation is so important. You may think something looks like an opportunity that's not worthwhile, but little do you know that door that just opened is life-changing. It could be something super small. It could have been me opening that door years ago, or IT department opened that door years ago by trying to update this email address. That kicked the thing off. What if Joe Sunderman comes in and finds some validity to what we're building here and wants to help out, and he's the guy that we needed to take this thing across the line? I'm not saying that it is, but you never know. And if you don't learn how to, if you can't be aware enough to look out for those types of opportunities, you could be in trouble. So I look at the growth I've done up to this point, and I know a lot of it was based off of my decisions of knowing I wanted to be here where I could hire a band and go on tour if I wanted to. I'm not there yet, but that is getting clearer and more realistic every day that I keep inching my way towards it. If I have my way, we're going to build up the MTP and the Creative Tech and Rigid 6 to be these powerhouses here in Cincinnati around technology and transformation management. That is what I do now. And if that machine gets going well enough to where it's doing what I wanted to do for my family and I, if all that work pays off to give my family and I the freedom from finances, which I know we're a long ways from that. But if we can get there, I won't be able to do it alone. I have to have a team do it with me. But if we get there, I want everybody that's helped to live it up just as much as I do. And I want everybody that engages with the Creative Tech, Icora, or Rigid 6, anybody that engages or works with any of those can walk away from it feeling empowered, or that we've uplifted them or improved their life or their work, whatever it may be, that we've helped. Those are some of the core principles and values that I have. And I guess I'm going to segue into topic number 2 now, which is impact, or should I say structure. And maybe where it got confused with impact is that your principles and your values are very important. I look at the RF, Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, and him, endorsing Trump and Trump taking that. If we look at opportunity here, and again, I'm not into politics. I don't care. At this point, I don't think it matters who wins. Our country is not going to do some major shift to where we're not America anymore. And in 5 years, we're going to be happy all this is over, one way or another. Because, well, maybe not, because in 4 years, if Trump loses this year, I guarantee there will be some noise about it 4 years from now. So I'd almost rather him win now, just get him, imagine us being done with Trump right now. If he would have just finished his 4 years and be done. That's one perspective I have. Now, I was doing great during Trump's administration, but at what cost, right? What was the lack of regulations, and I guess what damage did that cause for us to have so much money flowing through business? You know what I mean? So if he becomes president again, there's going to be pros and cons. If you're only focused on the person that's running, then you're right into the circus. You're part of the circus. You're just sitting there watching the 3-ring circus, and you've now become part of the show. Enjoy. But for me, let's look at the opportunity that was laid out here. Biden against Trump. Biden is just like, hey, this is my life mission. I finally he made it. He became president. He ran once and dropped out because, And after that first debate, oh my God, like I was watching it live. I was like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not for either one of these two. I think Joe is definitely a decent person, and I'm sure there's things that they do with money. They have more money than we know to do with any of their business offerings or dealings. We'd probably be like, oh, that feels dirty, because there's a lot of money in the Biden name. There's a lot of things that move around. I think there's good intent. I think they want to have a good legacy, and I don't think they're some horrible corporate, stealing from everybody. Trump, on the other hand, I think is an opportunist. He is somebody that will, if the tax laws allow him to break the tax laws, he's going to do it, because why not? Everybody else does it, right? If you allow it, we should do it. Like, that mentality to me says a lot about character. And I think you can find hypocrisy in everybody to some degree, even myself. But yeah, bottom line is after watching that debate, Biden was just, you could tell he's tired. And yeah, like, I even concerned about him being president right now myself, to some degree. I am. But I also hope our systems and the professionals working at the White House, because I've actually heard him talk recently, and he seems okay. And I don't know if that's pumping full of drugs to get there. I don't know. I do not know. What I have to put faith in is that the government officials and the medical professionals that are at the highest level in this country that are working with this guy is not just flat out lying to us. Like, he's got dementia, he's totally fucked, somebody else is over here pushing the buttons, he's just a puppet on strings. I don't believe any of that. No. So I guess what I'm saying is Biden knew it was fucked. I think you could tell during the thing, he was just like, I'm going through the motions right now and I'm tapped out. So Trump had this momentum. Oh, Trump's going to win. Even I was like, well, shit, if it does come down to these two, damn, what do I do? Like, I do not want to vote for Trump. I don't like the character whatsoever, but my God, do I really want somebody running the country that may have a bad day and maybe look senile and tapped out? Like, that scares the shit out of me more than you know. So obviously Trump had this momentum, and it just, the thunder, woof. Then the assassination attempts, even more thunder behind that, even more, momentum. Seeing Harris come into the race with this Waltz guy, seeing the momentum shift, and seeing the opportunity coming from, now we're going to get Bobby Jr., which I understand he reached out to both parties. And look who we're talking about. Bobby Kennedy is, from my understanding, and again, I'm not a huge politician, I've just been watching and observing. And some of my feedback is Bobby grew up in a very privileged environment and doesn't understand. The guy that put a dead bear carcass next to a bike to make a political statement, doesn't care who they offend, and that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like they're very self-aware, Trump nor this Kennedy guy. And I think Harris and her team are aware of that, and that's why they declined to talk to him. And they're going to twist things however you have to do it, but I do believe that the Democratic Party right now is holding to their standards and their principles, and Bobby wouldn't have an entertained conversation because he doesn't fit the bill for their team. And the only reason I'm bringing any of this up, either way, I don't care. I feel like Harris is part of the circus. It's all this three. I'm just using this as examples because I know the world's paying attention. Your opportunities, how do they make you look? Bobby saying that Harris didn't even talk to them. Well, if you're somebody that truly understands quality principles and values and sticking to your guns, bringing Bobby in would question a lot of things for me. So I'm actually really pleased to see that they didn't entertain. conversation, and to see them saying that Harris wouldn't even talk to me, that's speaks volumes. And then to hear Trump speak about Bobby and praise him the way he did after all the negative, like, to see people that are just after opportunity because they want the gold, they don't care about who they hurt or how they get there. Those are things that I put into business principles and practices. What are people's intent? What's their agenda? And is it an agenda, or are they framing things in a way that is about us, or is it about you and me? Is it a collaborative, or are we? Yeah. I don't like adversaries. I like collaboration. So when you have your structure and you know the impact you want to make, maybe that's where I was going with it, I don't know. But when you know what impact you want to make, that's a good one. You know what opportunities are important. And if you do not know how you're going to pull, what opportunities do you grab? That was the question asked to me by John Salisbury when I first met. Yeah, I met him once, and then we've talked a few times. Well, we talked once since then, I guess. I need to reach out to him, see if we can schedule another chat. Yeah, bottom line is he asked me, you have 1,000 balls thrown at you, which ones do you catch? And I think I said something along the lines, well, I'd want to qualify them first. Like, which ones, like, are they colored at all? Do certain colors, resemble more value than the other? Like I need more context here before I start grabbing balls. I won't start grabbing balls until I know what we're doing. You just want me to start I'm not going to do a dance just to do a dance. I don't know how that question's supposed to be asked or answered, or how I did, or whatever it is. And I think he was just asking a general question, and I think it wasn't some serious test. But it does make you think, how do you know what opportunities are good? Well, a lot of that you have to know about yourself, right? You have to be able to identify who you are, what impact you want to make, and build your structure around that. So that way, because here's what I think about opportunities, and we can go ahead and jump into the third topic now, which is action. I kind of talked about growth, and I know this is all over the place, but the purpose of talking about my past and my work ethic and dropping out of high school to be in bands and realizing later that, okay, I need to pivot and look for these opportunities, and went to school and got this job, and now started my own business, and just, what opportunities, what balls do I grab to get me closer to the thing I'm trying to do? And for me, I know my desired state is to be financially well off, to where I don't have to stress about finances, and I can just live and do what I want to do and not be stressed about it. That's one thing. Another thing is to be able to travel the world, which will be happening here very soon, which I'm excited about. Traveling the world and spending time with those that I care about, my wife, our children, all of it. We're in a current season right now of development, of growth. We have kids from 10 to 21 right now, or 22, shit. So knowing that opportunity is that's how we grow, by knowing which opportunities to go after. If you keep on going after opportunities that don't give you much return, or don't lead to another path, or to further things, opportunities are everywhere. Doors are opening everywhere. Don't just walk blindly through an opportunity. You need to make sure you know where you're going and where you want to be. Understand what kind of journey, like when I drive from Alabama to here, or vice versa, I'm not going to take the 4Runner. We're going to take the Tahoe. It's big and spacious. The cabin is fucking like sitting in a living room in a recliner. And, we're gonna make the best out of this trip. Like how you want your journey to be. You make decisions, you look for opportunities to get you where you're going to go. I hope this is making some sense. I know I'm rambling to the world and not a whole lot's going on. I still have a lot more work to do before the impact comes. I'm hoping Joe Sunderman becomes the creative tech. He understands the model to some degree, and we're going to continue building that out and writing that out and seeing what that looks like. I'm sure he has some skill sets that if he comes on board and helps this thing out, beautiful. I talked to my lovely friend Sarah. Hold on, I'm going to screw up her name so bad. Oh, Sarah Sarah. Where'd she go? I know we just talked the other day. And maybe that wasn't on here. Maybe that was somewhere else. Otamendi. She's going to have to tell me how to say that again. I have no idea how to pronounce that last name. Used to be McClintock. She was an assistant of mine back, I would say probably 8 years ago. It's been a minute. She was an assistant that helped me out quite a bit. I was really not happy to lose her, but at the same time, you want people to be happy and to pursue what they want. But talking to her recently, explaining to her what all is going on, sounds like she has, she's got some stressors and things going on too, and I'd love to be able to help. So we're hoping to talk again next week. Everything is just, everything I'm doing, all the structure I've done, all the growth I've done, it all came from the actions I took, which is our third topic. Action. What you do with these balls when you catch them. Maybe you can't deal with that opportunity right now. Does that opportunity allow you to put it down and come back to it? Does that opportunity just disappear if you don't act on it? Will that door slam in your face? I don't know. But you have to know to look out for them, and you also have to know what you're doing and how they affect your opportunities. So for me, in order for me to get to the desired state of getting this whole thing updated, what opportunities do I have right now to grow this platform or to improve it? One of the ways is by doing really good work with Ikora. I'm building that out. And as I build that out, start going to networking events for Ikora, I'm able to, things are starting to come around to where I can basically put the opportunities I want to do in front of me. I get to create my opportunities now. And that's a freaking powerful feeling. I wish I could give everybody this feeling of just truly knowing what you're trying to get accomplished, and knowing no matter if you had to move to a different city and start from ground zero, you'd be able to pick yourself up, get your shit together, and get back into it and get back to a desired state. I don't know if you can hear my Clementine going crazy, but she is upstairs right now freaking out on probably a cat on the TV. That'll do it. All right. So I basically have been winging these sessions, focus and topics. I understand there's got to be more time put into this. I need to have next week's focus done this weekend with the topics laid out properly, not having topic 2 be somewhat ideal. And actually think about it through the week and start putting the agenda together and thinking about how I'm going to talk through it. That needs to be the next improvement I make. And I tried making a push before the vacation because I knew I'd be gone. I was trying to do the episodes while I was on vacation, which was a hope of mine. That didn't happen. And I don't have anybody watching right now. I'd like to have this type of stuff figured out before I do have an audience. Ugh. I don't know what I'm doing, and it's so hard. It's okay. It's okay, Joseph. I just keep telling myself it's okay. The approach to it this week wasn't great. Didn't do so hot. You need to open yourself up for opportunities with your actions so that way you can have an impact when you grow. Yeah, I'll get better at this as I go. I promise, guys. And I apologize I didn't put as much time into it as I wanted to today. I will get better at this. And let's take a moment to go over the show. How's that sound? Do we want to go over the show a little bit? What I mean by going over the show, I meant let's go ahead and go to tribe.creativetech.ai. Let's just do a quick little review of how little I'm doing on this channel and how much growth we've actually had. Let's start here, actually. All right. So we've had 23 episodes, and we've grown over the last. Oh, shit. We've went up 5 subscribers since episode 10. So that's what? Averaging 0.3 subscribers a week. Awesome. Not so hot there as far as bringing that up, but if we look here at the guts of this thing, obviously the agenda is not being done. I haven't removed this column, and I don't want to. I want to make sure that as we're going to start, like I said, if we have next week's episode done already and I have the agenda in here, as I'm going through my week and I go, oh, that'd be a great segue from going from topic 2 to topic 3 or something along those lines. Through the week, I can work on the agenda and think of things like I'll be able to have it in my mind through the week. I get it done an hour before the show like I did today, and I don't have a whole lot of time to process and come up with talking points or to make sure that it's actually flowing and the 3 topics actually make fucking sense. I'm a little frustrated, but I'm also in a good mood. The wife is off with her, they're having like a adult hangout with her mom and family. Like they think I'm a jerk. I think they're a bunch of rednecks. So like, hey, whatever, go enjoy your time. I'll stay here and get some work done. And my wife will be home tomorrow for us to celebrate her birthday. Her birthday is tomorrow. So everybody make sure you let Miss Amelia Mina Sunderman know that you all love her and appreciate all of her patience for putting up with me. What an incredible stepmother and mother she is. All right. We got 10 minutes left, really? And I haven't talked about the show much other than during the opening, and I kind of just blazed through the focus on 3 topics, even though I'm not sure they were solid. That's kind of been an ongoing theme, if you will. I've been told if you just talk for 15 minutes, Joe, you probably get a lot more traction. Like, I'm not even trying to get traction right now. I'm just trying to be consistent and get the flow going right, which I need to be practicing this through the week too. Like, practice the show a few times a week. Like, have the focus and topics done. Do a trial run on Monday, another trial run on Wednesday, and a final one on Friday, and then go live on Saturday. That'd be 4 or 5 hours a week I'm putting into this now, and I ain't got it. I just don't have it to do. All right. So, going up just a few subscribers, what my hope is that with Midwest Con, that's going to be an opportunity. Next weekend, they will be wrapping up the Hacker Marathon for Midwest Con. In fact, they're doing it right now. I believe it's live. So if I go home here, see if they have anything. What? I guess this is the wrong platform for that. Here we go. So yeah, they're at the hackathon right now doing that, and there is roughly like $45,000 to $50,000 in prizes. I think $25,000 in cash prizes. The other 20 to 25,000 in like credits and tickets and tokens and things of that nature. But we are setting up the platform for them to run the event on, and that's wrapped up. We got to get the attendees in there and send out all the emails before Midwest Con starts on September 4th. This all should have been done a month ago, but we just came into it and was provided this task last week, and we're just now getting it finalized and across the line. So, but what I'm excited about is I'm speaking at my very first event. This will be the very first event that I ever speak at. I'm going to break my speaking virginity here, and yeah, it's going to be quite the experience. I'm going to go get me a haircut. My lettuce is a little long. I get that shit trimmed, my shit. So, what else we got? Come on, people. Oh, Jesus. Can't get my mouse right. Anyway, I'm going to go upstairs and get ready, pack up the car. Well, first I get my rig done. I talked about this a little bit on my earlier episode, but I'm going to get the rig all fired up here. Take this big bad boy into the Innovation Hub so I can record this hackathon, get some cool shots for these guys. I thought this would be fun to take this with me. Yeah. And we'll have some content to post maybe. So, pulled up the show to go, or pulled up the channel to go over the channel, talked about stupid shit instead. Seems about right. Seems just about right. I feel like we got the hour in. I'm might as well just wrap up. How many times have we ended early here on the show? Never. We don't want to. Wherever you are in your life currently, whatever opportunities came and however you handled those opportunities, and were you married once and now you're divorced, like that could you have done something differently in that opportunity? Are you happy it's over because they didn't do what they were supposed to do? Are you able to sleep well at night knowing that you have a path forward? You have a roadmap for your journey, whether that roadmap will get you never know how many blocks or closures or pivots you have to make to get from point A to point B. You'll never know if you'll make it to point B, which is why it's so important that whatever that roadmap looks like, that you're actually not just worried about getting to that destination and having fun, but you're enjoying the trip. Take the scenic route. Yeah, it adds 3 hours to our road trip, which is 15 hours. 15 hours and beautiful scenery is way better than 12 hours looking at a highway and a bunch of concrete. So choose your path wisely. I'm tired. I don't know why I'm so tired lately. I think I just need to start getting outside and doing some more runs and exercises or something. I need to get moving. All right. I think we're close enough to that hour mark. I've been doing this for 59 minutes and some odd seconds, but I know at the beginning we had our music playing. I think I didn't start until like 3 or 5 minutes after. But I'm not going to hold everybody here. I am going to wait for another 30 seconds for this thing to say an hour because I guess I'm just weird like that. If anybody has any questions or wants to join the tribe, you're going to go to tribe.creativetech.ai. All simple, no crazy spelling. Number 2, I want you to get aligned with the Creative Tech. Fill out the form. There's a lot of questions, a lot of deep questions that I want you to take your time and fill out thoroughly and give me as much feedback as possible, because that'll allow me to understand your current state and your desired state to some degree. And then finally, would love to spend some one-on-one time with you and get to know what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And I don't have all the answers. I just have perspective. I've been through some shit. You've been through some shit. Let's connect and see how we can move through it together. And yeah, all I'm asking for is people to be aware of what I'm doing and to see the model and to help out if you're interested. If we've helped you, pay it back a little bit, give it back, because we're not charging for any of our sessions right now. So feel free to have them as often, as much as you want. But if you get crazy with it, that might take us into the next season. You never know. We won't know until we make some action. We got to grow. We got to make an impact. We need that structure in order to get there. Yada, 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 yada. I am going into the city. You have a wonderful day. And as always, you keep it heavy, you keep it real, and we'll see you next time. Peace.